Have you ever heard a story that sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but it actually happened to someone who decided to take control of their own fate? The truth is, too many people accept being the victim, believing all their problems come from outside forces, with no way to change the game. But what if I told you that even the smallest of us can turn the tables in ways you'd never expect? The secret lies in understanding your own power, thinking differently and acting at the right moment. Get ready, this story of a little cat who outsmarted her enemies is a wake-up call for anyone wanting to make a real difference today. No brute strength required, just cleverness. And here's the kicker. Anyone who thinks this is just a fairy tale will be shocked by how it all ends. Ever wondered how a tiny kitten managed to flip the entire story against a family who mistreated her? How she used her strategy so brilliantly that everyone was left speechless? And better yet, what does this story have to do with your life, and how can you use the same mindset to turn your challenges into victories? If it sounds impossible, don't worry, the answer is right inside your mind. This isn't just a fun story, it's a masterclass in strategy, courage, and transformation that very few dare to learn. Are you ready to discover what's possible when you start thinking and acting differently? From the very beginning, it's clear that these adults, supposedly responsible, weren't acting with kindness or justice. The wicked stepmother, with her cruel ways, didn't hide her malicious side, manipulating situations and leaving the little girl at the mercy of her schemes, as if she were just a pawn in her power game. Meanwhile, the father, instead of protecting his child, turned a blind eye, pretending nothing was wrong, thinking silence was the best option. It's a heartbreaking situation that makes anyone wonder, how far can cruelty go when grown-ups forget the true meaning of responsibility? And of course, this story has more twists, something darker lurking behind the scene. Picture a tiny kitten, growing up not in love but in fear, a doll thrown around by those who should have cared for her. It's like these adults were following a script written by someone who doesn't understand empathy or humanity. It reminds us of real-life stories, families where silence becomes an accomplice to abuse, and where love should be the foundation, but is replaced by selfish interests. But, hey, is it really possible to flip the script in a situation like this? How do you turn a story of pain into one of strength? The answer lies in how we respond to injustice, a lesson that naturally connects us to the next chapter of this journey. When the kitten realized that his so-called guardians had become the biggest villains in his story, he didn't just sit back and wait for someone else to fix things. Instead, he decided to outsmart them, using his cleverness as his greatest weapon. Like a master of disguise, he started crafting plans, studying every move those cruel adults made, as if he were playing a high-stakes game of chess. Maybe he even drew inspiration from stories of heroes who faced the impossible by thinking smarter, not harder. The real takeaway here? Your mind is a powerful tool for overcoming even the toughest challenges, if you learn how to use it. The secret behind the kitten's success was understanding that true justice demands more than just complaints. It requires strategy, bravery, and patience. He began gathering evidence, weaving stories, and hiding his discoveries, like a detective waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Have you ever thought about applying that to your own life? Whether you're solving a problem at work or dealing with a conflict with a loved one, acting with intelligence can turn the odds in your favor. And never underestimate the power of a well-timed plan. It could be the game changer you need. If you think this kitten was just a helpless little creature, think again. True strength lies in the ability to think beyond the obvious and use your skills to your advantage. It's not just luck, it's planning, perseverance, and a bit of daring. Like him, anyone aiming to change their story needs to learn how to think strategically, mapping out each move. Do you already have an idea of how to do that today? So many people let opportunities slip away, but remember, those who think big always start somewhere, and often, that starting point is a single clever idea. When court time arrived, the kitten knew that all his carefully laid plans would be tested. The courtroom felt like a stage, and he, the little hero, was stepping into the spotlight, armed with evidence and strategy that could expose the adults' lies. The powerful adults, sitting comfortably in their positions, never expected that. This tiny creature had the brains to outthink them. Despite the nerves, the kitten stayed calm, knowing that intelligence always beats fear. That's the lesson. Mastering your emotions gives you the upper hand every time. In the courtroom, the evidence spoke volumes. Lies crumbled one after another as the kitten presented his proof with the confidence of someone who knew his worth. Think about it. How can you learn to stand your ground with maturity and trust in yourself? When facing tough moments, the secret is never letting fear dictate your actions. The truth is like a bright light. It may hurt to look at, but it clears the path for those brave enough to show it. Have you ever considered how you could prepare for your own trial in life? And suddenly, the verdict was in. Justice was served, not through brute force, but through smart thinking, patience, and perseverance. The kitten, with all his cleverness, proved that even the smallest can be mighty from the inside out. This story teaches us that no matter how big the obstacle, a strategic mind and courageous heart can turn the tide. So, tell me, what's your next move? Are you ready to use your wisdom and change your game? Now that you see the full strategy behind the story of the cat who turned the tables, ask yourself, do you also have the power to rewrite your own story? How many times have you let insecurity or fear hold you back from taking action? The real lesson here is that true strength comes from your mindset and the courage to use your skills wisely, no matter the circumstances. Are you ready to take control and turn challenges into remarkable victories? So don't wait, subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and keep learning how to make your personal journey a story of success. So, what's your next move? It's time to put everything you've learned into action because, remember, those who think differently live better. Do you really want to stand still while the world keeps turning? Think about your own story and the impact you can create. Starting today. If you enjoyed the story of the kitten, share it with someone who needs to boost their strategy too. Together, we can turn small actions into great wins.
If you enjoyed this story and want to see more exciting tales of adorable and smart cats, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Turn on notifications so you won't miss any feline adventures. Join me and be part of this community full of incredible stories.